Welcome back, everyone, to Style Esports Season 9 playoffs. We are in the Targon division tonight, and it's gonna be quite a fun matchup. First seed versus 8th seed in the division, and we are playing on the new preseason patch. I am MxL, joined by WeWizard. How are you doing on this fine evening?
I am doing great. I have been experimenting with preseason, playing a couple games here and there. I hope we see some of the new dragons tonight. I really do. They're so fun. The camouflage zones from Chemtech and the portals from Hextech are just so interesting and a little refreshing, I might add, to Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, definitely agree. Chemtech Soul, the Chemtech Rift in particular, I've been playing a little bit today. It doesn't feel as good as people made it out to. It is still solid, don't get me wrong, but the
seeing
detection...
no bushes is so weird.
Well, yeah, I'm used to Infernal Rift, but the detection radius on that is very, very large, so it's not as strong as people make it out to be.
Right. The main thing I noticed in testing was that the detection radius is actually larger than Sweeper. So if you're sweeping, you'll actually see them before the Sweeper sees them. So Sweeper has a lot lower impact in the camouflage zones.
Huh. I played top lane today, so I don't really get to say anything. Playing Jarvan with Chemtech Soul felt really bad, but first ban was missed by New World Gaming here, as they do have an emergency substitute mid laner, so we will see, I believe, yeah, happens. Just 2 bans coming out for NWG tonight. Mythic Academy still running their strong first seed roster. They are the heavy favorites coming into tonight, as they did get first seed in the Targon division. Did get side selection in the first game as well. They picked red side. Viego Yone banned away by NWG makes sense. Urgot, Zac, and Leona taken away by Mythic Academy, and that does leave up first pick of Mumu. Still technically a flex.
Yeah.
I'd hope it's probably not support.
Yeah.
I don't know your thoughts on
it. I feel like Amumu has sort of fallen out of the support role, sort of. In just the sense that there's better picks, right? Because Amumu support is sort of, I want to say feast or famine, in the sense that his whole playstyle is going in, right? And if you go in when you're not supposed to go in, you're just dead, right? Either you have flash or you're dead. And it can be really punishing as the support if you make a mistake or you get ganked. All of a sudden, you're really in a tough spot. So I do think the jungle fits in a lot more, in the sense that you can have something with a little bit more disengage, and you can still have the Amumu jungle, right, where you have the lots of CC and the decent clear and the ganks, where Amumu really shines.
Yeah, definitely agree with you there. Big things to note, though. Jhin is still a very priority AD carry for, I believe I was looking at this right. Yeah, Kill loves playing the Jhin. Most played AD carry by far in technically last season. And Lux also left open. This champion feels so strong right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And we may even be seeing the new crown item, which gives them a sort of in combat Zhonya's, I guess you could say. Like, it gives you 75% damage reduction for 1.5 seconds upon entering combat. It can be pretty nuts against an assassin or some burst heavy champion, something like the Vi. If the Vi comes in for a gank, it can really make sure the Lux survives long enough to make CC her or flash away.
Yeah, that item, I still don't know the names of the new items, unfortunately, but it is pretty strong against a lot of these dive-heavy champions, so would definitely like to see that if that's the case. Granted, right now you're against just the Vi for the dive, so not necessarily the best,
Yeah,
but some other fun
I think
items.
it's
I don't know if you think we'll see these. The new, like, ultimate reduction item that came out,
Axiom,
I
Axiom,
think it's a,
Axiom. I don't know.
I think it's a bait. I don't know about your
I
thoughts here.
it's. I just want to say I saw a meme video on YouTube with Axiom Karthus, and that was
Oh
one of
my
the most
gosh.
funniest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, he ults, he gets a quadra kill, he ults again.
That,
Like, all right, bro,
uh,
hey, not bad.
I mean,
But I
yeah,
do think that I think it has some niche play, right? You have champions like Zed that already have such low cooldowns on their abilities and ultimate that you really only need one or two procs, and the built-in CDR as well, right? And
yeah.
it just fits so well with someone like Zed, right? They need the CDR. They want to spam shadows, spam shurikens, spam ultimates. Like his
Ooh.
ultimate's already on like a 30-second cooldown, right? I'm pretty sure once you hit level 16. So you can really consistently get off two or three ultimates per fight because right, you don't have to kill them. You just have to get an assist in the last
Yeah.
couple of seconds. So I would say it's definitely on the niche side, but it should have its relevancy.
All right. I'd love to hear that. I love hearing about the new items. I don't think we'll
Yeah.
see this one this game, but my personal favorite is the
Oh
new
yeah.
Winter's Approach. I absolutely love it.
Oh yes.
Um,
Yes.
Granted, top lane tanks still feel bad. I've been playing them all day. I can confirm. But Camille gonna
I
be
tried
locked in
Winter's
top lane.
Approach Cho'Gath. It was actually
Yeah.
really solid. I liked it
It
because your E slow procs it, your Q procs it.
Yeah, so it was that. The build we've been doing has been Winter's Approach and Frozen Heart, and it's just, or not Frozen
Oh
Heart, Frozen Fist.
yeah,
So
Frozen Gauntlet, Crossfire.
yes.
Yeah,
Interesting to note here though, Camille and the Mordekaiser both locked in for the side of New World. Uh, I'm not
there's
sure
a
where
lot of
this is
ways this
going.
could go.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it could still be a Mumu support, Lux mid, Mordekaiser jungle if they were going really spicy, or it could be Lux support, Mordekaiser mid, a Mumu jungle. Mythic Academy, they're
Corky.
like, we don't know, we're just gonna pick the Corgi.
Yeah.
You got us with this one. We're gonna go with the safe Corgi pick.
Yeah, I mean, Corky is notoriously one of those, like, you're not gonna kill me in lane kind of champions. So,
Yeah,
definitely like that pickup when you have no clue what's going on the opposite end. Uh,
absolutely.
we'll have to see, though. I think Mythic's composition is pretty straightforward. Aurelia, Vi, Corky, Sivir, Karma, they're looking to run at you. There's a little bit of dive potential with Vi, Aurelia, Corky, right? But they Sivir are on the hunt is just so much move speed towards a team. New World, I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, I think they're a little more pick focused, right?
It definitely seems that way, right? Of course, you have the Hextech Ultimatum, you have the Curse of the Sad Mummy, and you have the sort of artillery barrage from Jin. It seems like they're trying to go for the pick comp, but at the same time, they do have a decent amount of teamfight prowess. Because you have the Mordekaiser just to single out whoever the carry is, probably the Irelia or the Porky, or Vi if you're trying to just go for the objective steal, right? But overall, I do think they're definitely pig focused. Just having the Camille and the Lux sort of drives them into that direction. While of course Mythic Academy, they really have sort of team fight focus with the Karma Sivir, Irelia Corki. That's all about getting these big team fight engages and pop ups.
Yeah, definitely agree with you there. And generally speaking, I tend to favor the team fight compositions. They tend to be way easier to execute, as opposed to needing some niche fights or some really, like, it relies on misplays if you're a pick composition against a team fight comp, right? You're relying on the opposition to misplay. You're relying on you just outplaying them somehow, some way. Mordekaiser top lane right now. That, like, you don't play Camille mid into Corki, right? There's no way.
No. I mean, you know what? I don't know.
And you're not playing
could be
Camille
a bait.
support anymore.
They could be switching.
That's
It's a 5 head IQ play. Trust.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, Camille's support was fun when she was released, but it hasn't been good
That's
since.
true. I mean,
Uh,
Camille even was a jungler at some point.
oh yeah, I
I
miss
think
those
one of the
days.
best junglers. I think.
Yeah,
But
and there.
overall, I think that in my experience, it's really hard to pull off pick comps successfully, especially when you're against first seed, right? It's going to be difficult, I expect,
Yeah.
because Mythic Academy have proven themselves. They know what they're doing, and unless we see if it's a Chemtech Soul, and the stealth zones may come into play for some spiciness, I I would probably lead Mythic Academy on this one just because I find ease of execution in a composition so important, and
Yes.
having the team fight comp automatically, in my opinion, gives you the ease of execution. Right, you just have a focus. You play for objectives. You play for these 5v5 fights, and if you do that successfully, it's really really hard for the pick comp to actually do something productive because um, they need to force you into a position you're not really going to be in. And when you already have so much mobility with the Karma, Vi, Corki, Irelia, Sivir, they all have, ways to sort of get out of a sticky situation.
Yes.
And I think that just makes it even trickier for New World to pull this off successfully.
Yeah, definitely interested to see how this plays out. You mentioned it is an uphill battle, right? You are the eighth seed coming into this matchup. You're playing against the best team in the group based on the ELO rating. So to put yourself into this situation of, all right, we need to outplay them, almost speaks to like some
They're confident.
yeah, that's the word I was gonna say ego, but that's putting it in a negative light. I agree with
Well,
confidence
ego
for
has some
sure.
negative connotations. You gotta
Yes.
give them the benefit of the doubt. They're confident. They practiced this comp 100 times in the past week. They know what they're doing.
We'll have to see. I think there's definitely some interesting stuff that can happen for sure. Looking towards like just Lux in general, I think the champ has gotten buffed pretty consistently over the past few patches, so would not be too surprised to see this kind of take over the bot lane, even though Sivir should be able to live, I would think. Um, Interested as to your thoughts real quick on potential Sivir angles, Sivir build. I'm more of a fan of the like lethal tempo. You're actually attacking people thing as opposed to the uh, lethality, dark harvest. Blech.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because it's really interesting how because they changed lethal tempo in the preseason, right? Before it was
Oh yeah.
you attacked, you got a burst of attack speed for a couple seconds, and then it fell off. I mean, I agree. It was good for some champs. I think mainly like Twitch, and I think Sivir also used it really well.
Yes.
But it didn't actually fulfill the fantasy, which I think Riot was completely right about, of being this carry, right? Because your attack speed falls off after 6 seconds, and all of a sudden you're auto attacking like once a second again. Like that's
Yeah.
so weird. So the change is making it having the consistent attack speed as long as you're in combat. That's really really cool to me. Now the real question is it good on Sivir? And I don't know because I don't play much ADC. I haven't played with the new lethal tempo. I played the new lethal tempo on Jax, but obviously that's a melee top laner, so
Oh
it's
my
definitely
gosh.
not the same thing. But I think I think it's possible, and I do agree with you that I really like the attack speed builds over the lethality builds, especially recently, just because it allows you to have so much more sustained damage in fights. You can do Baron so much easier. You have less poke, admittedly, right? Obviously, lethality Sivir has some pretty nasty poke
Yeah.
with the Q spam, but at the end of the day, they're a pick comp, right? You don't need the poke. You need poke again, 5v5 versus 5v5 because you need the health advantage to win those fights. You already have the 5v5 advantage, realistically, right? Assuming you're on even footing. So at that point, you kind of need the attack speed. And, if you get ulted by Mordekaiser, you're definitely going to want that attack speed
Yeah.
to help you out in the death realm. Because if you're lethality and you don't one-shot him, you're a little screwed.
Yeah, we will have to see though. Just about 30 seconds left on the spectator delay. We're going to send it to a short break before we get onto the Rift. Game 1 between New World Gaming and Mythic Academy for a spot in the next round of playoffs. We'll be back after the break. welcome back everyone to Style Esports Season 9 Playoffs. I am MxL. With me tonight is Wizard. We'll be getting Proxio in here for Game 2 as well, but it's going to be a fun game. New World, rather, going to be on the blue side. Mythic Academy going to be on the red, and Camille mid lane. It looks to be the case. No rule swap shenanigans going on here.
I find it a little interesting just because Camille should struggle in the mid lane more so than top lane, just because, the lack of wolves, right? You only have the four, I guess, I don't know, intrusions into the mid lane for you to hook shot off of.
Yeah.
And it's sort of a little limiting in your mobility. And you're against a Vi, right? So there's a possibility that Vi can sort of punish that a little bit. But let's get a look into the root choices. We get some spicy action going on. We see two of the new lethal tempos on the side of Mythic on the Vi, which is a little interesting. In the caster booth, we're not sure if that's trolling or not, but it's preseason, so who knows? Maybe it's the new broken. And on the Sivir, so most likely going to be the on-hit Sivir that we were hoping for. And on the side of New World, we see the new Glacial on Lux, and I think this change is really, really cool. I like what Riot did with this change, just because it was pretty much useless because there were only like 2 items that could proc it in Season 10, and allowing it to proc on crowd control is so much more consistent, right? And we're going to be seeing some action. Just look at that. That's huge.
Kill gonna find the auto. Actually, CC Dynamics will end up picking that up. First blood in the bot lane, and the Lux already getting off the ground.
Yeah, and that's just the power of, I would say it's a combination of not respecting the level 2 push from the side of Mythic, and I would say an unexpected. Glacial. It's like, how do you even play against that? She lands Q, you just literally can't move.
Yeah,
and it's pretty nuts.
This duo definitely can do some work. Light binding into the Deadly Flourish feels pretty nuts.
Exactly.
But the big thing that'll cancel that out is this magical ability called Spell Shield, which Sivir did not have access to. Was still level 1, so just well played level 2 advantage down there. iTunes diving in though. Defiant Dance gonna negate some damage, but Nano just running down this Aurelia will find the Obliterate. Does not get a ton of damage with that, but heavily winning out on the trade Aurelia started.
Yeah, and I forgot to touch on this, but the new Scuttle Crab. So the first Scuttle Crab spawns is a lot less XP, and the main thing that happens is you see Vi is still level 3. In Season 10, if you do a 5 camp clear plus Scuttle Crab, you hit level 4. So Vi's going for this gank. She's actually down a level than she would be normally.
Yeah.
But Mordekaiser walks out just like that, regardless.
Oh, another beautiful light binding Deadly Flourish. The exhaust coming through. Zarkane is gonna have to flash just to live. CC Dynamics.
It's crazy. It's just the fact that you're CC'd guaranteed from the Lux Q and then the Deadly Flourish, and then not only that, we have to deal with the slow from Glacial Augment. It's fun to watch. And if this is a voting for
shot into the stun, Jack flashes, but it's too late. Fiery Hedgehog with the precision protocol kill in the mid lane. Not used to saying that for Camille.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was gonna say a downside to the Camille mid is since you only have the 4 points of hookshot, it's a lot easier to sort of predict what Camille is gonna do, right? Because if she's gonna engage on you, it has to be from one of those 4 points. So that makes it even a little bit more surprising. Maybe he thought he could live from the auto, but it is going to, Camille scaling. It can be rough. And if Corki gets put behind early, that's, all the more power to the pick composition of New World.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see Camille, notorious, and as much as I hate this statement, people have stated Cho'Gath ult on a Q, it does some decent true damage for sure. So
2-second cooldown.
Yeah, it definitely can spike as the game progresses a little later on. We'll have to see though if this spells a little bit of trouble for the side of Mythic Academy, a team that on paper should be doing fairly well here. Fallen behind in the early game, 800 gold down for the time being. Teleport coming into the mid. Looks like Rising might be in the area, charges up the Q, does end up landing it, but yeah, the safety of the hook shot from Fiery Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Even if you get jumped on, you can just jump on out.
And that's exactly the same as top lane, right? Just having that
Another light
instantaneous
binding deadly flourish. Lucent Singularity will do a decent chunk of damage. Thought there would be a little more there, but does end up not resulting in much. And meanwhile, Nano, yeah, just continuing to abuse this Aurelia top lane.
Yeah, but as you said, the Sivir having hit level 3, she does have the spell shield, so Nu will really need to be careful who they engage on.
Another one. Oh.
And they choose the Karma. Obviously, that's the right choice, right? Because Sivir with the spell shield, it's going to be really hard to land that combo off now that she has the spell shield. But Mythic are going for this dragon, and they're going to secure it. Ocean Drag, followed by Cloud Drake. So no new dragons yet. Hopefully the soul is new.
I'm hoping.
Hopefully.
It's worth noting as well, in the patch notes for this patch, as a result of preseason, the soul rates for the 2 new Drakes are doubled from what they would otherwise normally be.
I was actually hoping that would be the case, but I'm glad that you confirmed that.
Yeah. It's more likely that we'll get those. Like, I think instead of it being like a 1/6 split across the board, it's an 8 split for the 4 normal Drakes and then a quarter for the new ones. I obviously can't confirm that, but it is in fact increased.
That just, doubles my hopium, and, maybe we can see a new Drake, but this top lane is interesting. I mean, you can see the CS gap that the Irelia has just because, you're Irelia, but now that Mordekaiser's hit level 6, it's so difficult, especially with, Mordekaiser not being gated by mana, and you can see Irelia has half mana. So any fight that Irelia takes is sort of a little restricted just because, you're gated by mana just as a champion.
Yeah, I mean, we can even see both top laners kind of respecting the other. Nano rushing into the Bramble Vest. iTunes just running into that Null Magic Mantle super early, so just respecting the damage output and trading potential from the opposition. Definitely like to see this. But...
And, it may even be a Wit's End rush, because, you have an Amumu jungle, and you have the Lux and the Mordekaiser top. I wouldn't honestly, I don't think it would be too bad if it was a Wit's End rush. Now, they did nerf it a couple patches ago. They removed some of the early scaling in favor of late game scaling. But, the MR you get from it, the build path is really solid all around. So, Kill Myself maybe in trouble here. I don't like saying that name.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it does look like it's going to be the flash coming out from Wreckers in the bot lane. Just action everywhere. Curse of the Sad Mummy, meanwhile, mid. The Valkyrie going to be trying to take this out. The cease and desist down onto the backside. Rising, though, going to be taken low. Fiery misclicks the minion. It results in a flash out from the Vi. And somehow, some way, Mythic Academy getting away with murder in the mid lane.
Yeah, that was a little disgusting to watch, I'm not going to lie. And meanwhile, top lane, we didn't quite see it, but we did have a conflict between Nano and iTunes. iTunes surviving the Death Realm, but, getting a little low.
Final spark! CCC Dynamics Flash Light Binding will force the flash out from Zarkeen. And the curtains have been called, but in the bot side, it looks to be all the action there. iTunes finding the flawless duet top side, just trying to Blade Surge reset around the fight. But you have a very large wave ahead of you. Nano knows this, is trying to play around it. Might look for the Death Realm. Not going to find it yet. Oh, and misses the pullback.
Oh, he doesn't have it. He used it.
You are right. Look at that. Caster diff.
But this Rift Herald is just begging someone to take him. We'll see if this Mumu tries to go for it. He is topside, and with iTunes having to back, that does give New World an opportunity, right? You have the top lane prio. Mordekaiser's full health with TP available. iTunes doesn't have TP and has to reset, right? So you do have an opportunity. It looks like Lurdy is going for the Rift Herald, as I thought, and with the Vi walking topside, I'm not sure if she's actually going to check this Rift Herald. She is sweeping.
Looks to be what's happening. We might see a little kerfuffle up in the Herald pit.
Corki has first move.
Tends to hate the Rift Herald, by the way, so we
It
might not see it.
does,
A
it
light
does.
binding, the Deadly Flourish, the final spark,
Oh.
Zarkeen, the Glacial, like you were mentioning in the draft. It is too much to deal with. Vi has stolen away the Rift Herald, but will end up trading her life for that. So Herald was picked up by Rising, but it ends up with New World coming out on top in terms of the kills.
Yeah, and they do have the gold lead, right? They technically, I mean, this is an interesting point in the game where, yes, you have a 2K gold lead, but I don't think it's enough for your composition to triumph in the crucial team fights, right? And with this dragon coming up in 10 seconds, if they can actually succeed in this fight, I think really comes down to how the waves are playing. Nano used his teleport.
Death Realm.
Here's the Death Realm.
Gonna have to
Good
flash out. The Obliterate not quite available. Ultimate coming down. Vanguard's edge for that. Lurdy though, gonna. Oh, the two-man light binding. CCC dynamics just disgusting on this champion. The Jhin picks up a kill. Jack burning the package, but does not find anyone with the red carpet. The Bandit Sauce lands, and Fiery Hedgehog will find the kill. 3-1 on the Camille. Cloud Drake is theirs for the taking. Nano, by the way, killing top lane in the meantime, so will end up getting some quality time with some turret plates. Well, iTunes has TP, so maybe not.
Yeah, I guess they're a little too low HP to actually go for this dragon, and this may actually end up giving the dragon over to Mythic if they rush for it, just because the CC Dynamics playing with fire against the Sivir. I love it.
iTunes gonna face check. The 0.25 second lockout. Unfortunate.
Yeah, it happens. But just the way these recalls are working out, Mythic actually has an opportunity to go for this dragon if they wanted to. They have the top lane pushing. They're gonna have the bot lane pushing. Mid's going to be equal, but then again, you're down 8 kills. Do you really want to force this fight? And the answer is probably not. If you can get it for free, sure. Like maybe Rising tries to go for the dragon sneak here. We'll see, or just a play mid.
Yeah, looks like the play mid is on the docket. We do see Vi hovering in the area, but again, we mentioned the safety of the Camille. You can just hookshot on out, especially for mid. You got an extra wall to go over. Pretty difficult for Vi to collapse on that when she's already used that Q to try and gap close, right? So interested to see if there's even a window there. Does look to be the Cloud Drake, though, starting to be prepped finally by both sides.
Yeah, and this is, it was a 2K gold lead, now it's a 4K gold lead. So I think that New World are definitely in a lot stronger position, especially considering how strongly they won the last fight, despite Corki even having package, although arriving slightly late to the fight. And New World having backed, they have 2 Mythics to 0 right now. We have the Gale Force on Jhin, and the Divine Thunder on Camille. So New World are really hitting their power strikes strongly, and
Nano and
that stun missed. Am I blind? That didn't look like it missed.
It happens.
Maybe it's just the boomer eyes. I don't know. Anyway,
boomer eyes indeed.
We do see the dragon started up by New World.
Yeah, current
World
call
Mythic contest.
Burned here as well. Not too sure what that was for from the Jhin. Mantra Q will land with the Gale Force out. Meanwhile, top side, Nano and iTunes just gonna smack each other a little bit. The pullback coming through, the Obliterate coming through. Hextech Rift is here, and this is gonna be very fun. Portals everywhere. Tell me about them.
It's okay. So the thing about the portals, they're pretty straightforward, right? You have 2 in the base, around the mid inhibitor, and they take you into Raptor or Red Buff. And those are the 2 sort of easy ones to use. The other 2 take you from Dragon to Civic
Hextech
Buff.
Ultimatum mid. Final Spark lands. Jack gonna have to flash, but the tactical sweep into the flash. Fiery Hedgehog comes through with it, and Lurdy finds the kill onto Rising with the Curse of the Sad Mummy. Flash coming out from Lux. Flash coming out from Amumu. Flash coming out from Camille. And they get the kills. Also, actually, hold on. While we're talking about some new stuff, turrets, objective bounties, it exists, and they are in the favor of Mythic Academy this time around. We don't get to see how much they're worth, but they're there.
Do we know? Oh yeah, I think maybe it's bugged. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
But
we don't even see
yeah,
the turret count up top, so it
yeah,
happens.
yeah, unfortunate. But the thing to note is that the objective bounties are a little overtuned at the moment. So and this has been confirmed by rioters on Reddit, right? They started off a little strong, and they're going to be backing them off as necessary. But if Mythic are able to secure these bounties, they could get as much as
Oh, the
500,
Death
600 gold. But there's
Realm
a fight in the
up
top lane.
top side. iTunes gonna find the Flawless Duet in there, but Nano still has the fully stacked passive. Will get the shield down. Lurdy's here. The flash obliterate, and iTunes goes down to the little AoE that Mordekaiser has. Another really big,
Yeah.
almost solo kill up in the top side.
Yep, I mean, iTunes did go for the rush Wits End, but unfortunately Mordekaiser reached full build with the
Oh,
Bramble Vest and skill.
flash into the Mantra Q, but the final
Oh
spark!
my
Kill picking
god.
up the kill in the bot side. Zarkeen here as well. Flashing forward is the Jin, but Wrecker's gonna flash out as well. Spell shield down, but it's too little, too late. A double kill for Fiery Hedgehog in the bot lane.
And I'm a little surprised, right? I mean, we were sort of hyping up Mythic as the first seed, right? Obviously, I mean, it's true, but if this, just looking at this game, you probably wouldn't guess that. I mean, it's 15-1, and that is almost a kill a minute on the side of New World, and they are really, really ahead. And this game, it's teetering onto the edge of being almost unplayable for Mythic, just because you're so far behind. At some point, New World are going to be on their second item, and you're still struggling to finish your Mythic. Um, but overall, I think it's comebackable, right? You have such combo potential with the Corki Snowball, or sorry, the Corki package, um, and a Vi pick potentially.
iTunes
But
jumping forward. Lurdy and Rising have spotted each other. Nano might be taking this fight. Rift Herald summoned up in the top lane. And another Light Binding Final Spark. That's a dead Karma in the bot side. Meanwhile, Nano, Rising, and Lurdy all fighting. iTunes finds the solo kill up top, but Camille shows up, finds the kill onto Rising in the meantime. Hextech ultimatum down onto iTunes, trying to just stay alive. There comes the Precision Protocol, the hook shot. Fire your Hedgehog, 8-1-1 on the Camille mid. The package burn topside, Banish Toss from Lurdy just to try and stay alive, but Hedgehog's running away. Does go back in with the hook shot. Jack gonna be taken low. Shield though has been popped. The Bandage Toss lands, and Lurdy finding the kill up top, and it goes from bad to worse for Mythic Academy here.
Yeah, so that was really bad. I mean, a beautiful micro from Lurdy, using the bandage toss to dive away from the Corki package and then diving right back in with just a tipper, as I like to call them. And it's pretty great. I mean, New World are really playing to their strengths. They got the early lead and they've been keeping it. Honestly, this Lux has just been ridiculous.
Disgusting. Yes.
The glacial augment is just absolutely insane. It's probably one of the more important or one of the bigger things I'm interested in this preseason, and I'm glad to see it's living up to the potential. Right, just looking at the stats, looks like
Nano,
she's triggered it.
You've
40
already
times?
tried this. You haven't won this in the last time you tried. And Nano going to be taking the Death Realm in. iTunes going to be taken low. Actually, might be taken down barely.
Oh.
Does Nano find this solo kill in the top lane? And you see the Mia ping. iTunes going, how the hell did this guy live?
And I think that's just Nano getting his mythic power spike from the Riftmaker, and iTunes. Yeah, he had the item advantage in the last fight that let him win, but unfortunately, Nano is ahead, right? And that last buy just secured it. Look at that Hextech Drake. That's so cool. The bottom of it looks so cool, and that is going to be Dragon number 2, secured for New World. And let's talk about the Soul real quick, assuming no one dies here. Oh, he got an objective bounty.
Yeah, our first objective bounty of the season. Final Spark in the mid lane, and Camille finds a kill. But yeah, so objective bounties. That is gold split amongst the whole team because the mid team one ended up falling. Feels really, really good when you're behind. It gives you a little bit of an edge to get back in. Granted, you're still 7k gold down. It's definitely an uphill battle, but it's sitting pretty.
It's not even close to enough, but it is a start.
Yes.
And I just want to talk briefly about this Hextech Soul, and it's really an interesting one, just for the fact that it gives you a really hefty slow on hit, and we're already seeing how good New World are at taking fights they can win, and this slow, if New World can take it, it's just going to allow them to make it that much easier to get the fights that they want. Because if it's a bad fight, you slow them, run away. If it's a good fight, you slow them, they can't run away, right?
Yeah.
So it's just overall, it is just such a snowbally soul, and I would even compare it to Infernal in the sense that it just, if you're ahead, it just allows you so
Yeah.
much pressure just everywhere. Now it doesn't give you as much, upfront damage as Infernal does, but the utility, right? When the game is 21-2, you really don't need more damage, right? Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, so I do want to draw your attention. There was one thing. Oh yeah. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna say. I don't know if the stream end sees this, but there's a really hazy particle effect going on the screen. Um, if you are motion sick, like if you get motion sick easily, I apologize. This is on Riot's end. It's making me a little nauseous to look at because it's kind of going everywhere. Um,
No, I don't
Nothing.
see
It's
it.
this little like blue fog effect. It's
Oh, I see. I actually see it. I see it.
yeah, with the camera moving,
That's
it's a
weird.
little funky. But Nano and
Take
iTunes,
three.
yeah,
Does
trying to
Nanu win it
fight
this
it
time?
back. Death round gonna be called. Nano will get hit up by the Vanguard's edge. iTunes just trying to skirmish, trying to duel. Actually pulls the Aurelia out of the Obliterate, but it's not gonna matter. iTunes falling in the bot
Wow,
lane. And
not even
now,
close.
Nano just saying, all right, I have the recurve. You're not able to fight me anymore. In the meantime, Baron started up by the side of
Yeah.
New World, and I love denying this objective bounty.
Yeah, and there's the possibility of a steal, but I really don't think Rising's gonna go for it.
No.
It's just you have no vision. I mean, I don't even know if they knew they were on it, to be honest. And just like that, gold lead up to 8,000, and escalating. So,
Oh my gosh.
and you don't even get the chickens. You don't even get the chickens.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rising-
poor Rising.
Rising came out with a small chicken for taking that whole camp, so that is
Yeah.
definitely less than
And
ideal.
it's a chicken, but it's just this Lux, I mean, this bot lane in general.
Yeah.
I didn't realize because I forgot about Hextech or the ice. What's it called? The
Glacial, yeah.
Glacial, right? I mean, Glacial has been gone for a year. I didn't even remember what it was called. I mean, this bot lane is so gross.
Package down bot. Nano gonna just be chunked down by the Corki. Pops the shield, pops the flash, but the cease and desist allows Jack to find his second kill of the game on the Corki. Lurdy, I don't know if you want this. Sidesteps the flawless duet, but yeah, Fiery Hedgehog in the meantime, split pushing down top and just making quick work of that top lane tier 2.
Yeah, I mean, Mythic, these are the types of plays you have to make when you're in this position, right? Utilizing your strength with Corki package, getting a pick. But, I mean, in reality, it's almost a 10k gold lead, and I want to say it's too late, but, I mean, I don't think it's ever too late, right? You don't have to worry about Soul for another 5 minutes after this dragon. So there's a possibility that you can come back. Oh, we do see the play coming
Flash
through.
ultimate coming out, but the Curse of the Sad Mummy onto only the Aurelia. Divine Dance will negate a lot of damage. CC Dynamics will be taken low, will be taken down, but Lurdy in the backside just doing so much work. Nano finds the kill in the meantime, and Wreckers goes down the whole time. It's just Fiery Hedgehog pushing out the top lane. The 4v5 ace for New World, and they are looking dominant as they're gonna push to try and end this first game in the series.
Yeah, and it's, with 20 seconds on the respawn timers, it does look like that is going to be game. And New World, we were saying they were confident in draft, and they're certainly playing like it. They take a pretty commanding lead in this first game of the series. The question is, can they keep it up for the second and beyond?
Yeah, we will have to see. New World, oh my goodness, just coming out of the gate swinging. On paper, they are the underdogs. Just looking at the compositions, we thought they were the underdogs in the game as well, and they made sure we ate our words. A very, very strong showing from New World in this first game.
Absolutely. And I'm curious how the pick and bans are going to change up in the second game. We're going to see a Lux ban, a Mumu ban. I mean, Jin ban. There's just so much power on the side of New World, especially, considering the Camille mid. I didn't put much thought into it, but it performed really significantly well against the Corki, and I was just in no way able to punish it whatsoever. So definitely going to have to see how the drafts shake up for game 2, and if Mythic can make the comeback.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see Mythic backs against the wall right now, and New World surpassing expectations. We will have to see if New World's able to close this out in 2-0 fashion, or if Mythic will take us to that coveted game 3. We're going to take a short break before we get into that game, but you're not going to want to miss what's happening on the other end.
color in it.
Welcome back, everybody, to Game 2 between New World Gaming and Mythic Academy. New World coming out on top in a very, very strong showing in their first game. I am MxL, and with me now is Proxio. How are you doing tonight as we get into the Game 2 draft?
Hello, MxL. It's nice to be here. Thank you, WeWizard, for covering for me. Had to attend a little other event, but I'm here now. Thank you, guys. Glad to be here. Looking at these teams, yeah, we just saw Mythic Academy kind of get a little bit dumpster in that last game, but New World drafting a great comp, great pick comp, knowing what their game plan is going to go forward. So let's see what they're drafting in this Game 2. And we're already seeing some of these bans come out, and not a lot of the pick champions that we saw from the previous game, but we do have the Amumu first pick, won in the last game, so they're gonna keep going with it.
Yeah, just running it back for the time being, locking in that Amumu for Lurdy that he looks so comfortable on. Once again, worth noting, the third ban is a missed ban due to an E substitute coming in for New World, so nothing to take note of there. It is just a missed ban. Viego and Set banned away, and we mentioned after the last game potentially a change in the draft strategy for Mythic Academy, but they're sticking to their guns. Urgot Zach Leona banned away in Game 1, will be banned away in Game 2. They're going to pick Ashe into Amumu. Scares me a little bit.
Ashe into Amumu. I mean, Amumu's little E-passive. He takes less physical damage when, somebody's attacking him. And Ashe, she doesn't really do the most damage out of 80 carries, so it would be nicer to see a bit more damage, but they're going to go ahead with it. They're still accruing some really good hard lockdown CC with the Ashe Vi. That's a strong engage, follow-up engage with the Ashe arrow. So, they're ready to combat that Amumu coming into them. So if Amumu comes into them, they're going to counter engage and try to set up the fight that way. But now we have the Jhin Camille lock in, and this is looking all similar and all lucky for NWG. If you win with something, you can keep that win going. And Sylas, great ult to steal on Amumu. Amumu's a fantastic ulti target for Sylas to steal. So,
yeah, interesting things to note. Mordekaiser gonna be banned away. The big change from New World this time around, they picked Lux third instead of the Camille last game. They decided, hey, this Camille's just a little too good for us, so they're gonna take that one. Now, I don't know your thoughts on the matchup, but Sylas into Camille does not feel as fun as it sounds.
Yeah, Sylas is more so looking for his skirmishes. We would have to look at the jungle mid matchup, actually, and I believe Vi Sylas could actually take Camille Amumu if the situations are played out right. Because Sylas is a heavy skirmishing champion, and if he can get in a 2v2, that's where he thrives. That's his moment. That's where he's living. It's where he's home. He's like, I got ultis over here, I got ultis over there. I'm taking them all. I'm using them. So, in terms of just the mid lane matchup, I believe Camille should be able to get an advantage, but it is execution based. So, depending on how Sylas can react to what Camille is throwing at him, then there's potential for Sylas to win it. But Camille should overall win that matchup. But
Yeah.
it looks like they take the Lux away here on Mythic Academy.
So
Not letting them
technically,
get it to second round.
technically you can still flex the Sylas top, the Lux mid here. So still some flex potential coming out. Shen gonna be locked in. And yes, I love seeing this champ. She still feels god-awful into Lux, but Morgana gonna be locked in. And I'm assuming that's going bot lane.
Well, still Morgana to counter the CC, the hard engage of Ashe, Vi, and even potentially a little bit of Lux bindings. That it is one option to keep your Jhin safe. They're looking like they're going for a little bit of a dive. Like put the Shin ulti on the Camille or the Amumu, and the Morgana shield on it, and just send whoever is gonna go forward. And now we see the full draft out here, so we'll be seeing that Aurelia top, I assume. Well, we'll let you know when we get into draft, because I don't want to make too many assumptions. It's happened before that people will just go all over the place for client drafts, but exciting comps we have here. Let's see if Mythic Academy can bring this game back with their new drafts. It looks like it would be quite a this is going to be a battle royale of a game for sure, because there's going to be a lot of action happening with Aurelius, Silas, and Vi. Those three champions are already, melee champions. They like to make sure they're in there in the fight, getting things happening. Camille, she's going to try to get try to lock someone down in a fight, and Jin's going to try to assist with that as well. They do have the range advantage with the Morgana Jin. Going for like those long range like bindings and like trying to pick them out. But the team fight, team fight was a little bit of a Mumu, trying to lock them down. He can, all three of these melees are going to be jumping in their face, so Mumu could probably get a good Curse of the Sad Mummy off onto Mythic Academy. But we'll have to see how laning phase goes and really get to, the feel of like who might win this thing.
Yeah, definitely interested to see what's gonna happen. You mentioned you can't ever feel too comfortable when it comes to where certain champions are gonna be locked into. I think one of the world supports had a Pocket Silas support that would come out every now and then. So
oh my god, don't talk about it.
We could get even like that level of interesting or
that
fun.
level.
I doubt it. I don't think that'll ever happen. But big thing to note. Now I am a huge Morgana fan. I think this champion is incredibly fun. By far my favorite champ in League of Legends. The lane into Lux is abysmal. Sure, you can Black Shield the light binding every now and then, but you just get poked out so easily. So easily, it's hard.
Well, MxL, we did see the adaptation of Lux taking the new Glacial Augment.
That's
what do
true.
you think Morgana might take this draft? Or what are your Morgana runes?
I haven't played her on the new patch, so we're gonna avoid that. But I do think,
what are your thoughts?
I don't think Glacial's all that good on her. I mean, you can make it work with the ult specifically, but you'd have to hit a multi-man ult for it to feel worthwhile. I think the single target bind, potentially it could be solid. I legitimately haven't seen a ton of her on this patch because I still think tank supports generally do a little better. But the argument that I have here, I always flame Leandri's builds. I think they're generally pretty a little too high econ for a support role, but this game,
very selfish.
You're your consistent damage threat as an AP champ, so not against it this time around. I still like Guardian. I think Guardian's just really strong. If you're looking to poke, Comet isn't too bad either. And I think this is one of the few lanes where you can reliably try and poke out the Ashe, especially when you pair it with the Jhin.
Yeah, Ashe Lux, definitely. I do love to see a Jhin Morgana lane. I think that's one of Jin's... it extenuates Jin's strengths very much so, and we see a cheeky little Soraka hover there just for a second. Just got me a little bit worried there, but yeah, if you could set up Jhin W's on top of Tormented Soil. Tormented Soil is like, it's free gold. You just throw it out. It's like, all right, I'm gonna either get some money off of this, and
it only gives you
Jin's
one stack, unfortunately, of the thing now. Back in the day, you would put Tormented Soil down and instantly get 3 charges off. I miss those days, but yeah, I agree with you. I think the lane pairing can do very well. I mean, Morgana and Lux are very similar in terms of what they look to do in lane phase. And we saw it last time around with the Jhin Lux. One bind hits, Jhin roots, Jhin does a lot of damage, so definitely expect to see that continue.
Set up his Deadly Flourish, it's super easy, and they have got a good amount of range on Morgana W, so I like the bot lane. It has a defensive capability and offensive capability. Morgana's Black Shield is like, it's such a lovely ability. Especially into champions that have any type of CC. I will have to take a note that Lux can potentially pop it with her E. So, there's a little bit of counterplay into it. It depends on how the Lux is looking at it. If Lux can actually try to proc her Black Shield, make her use her Black Shield reactively instead of
proactively.
So she can set up the next play onto Morgana and make her waste her shield in an interesting way. But you know, that's a good look at the bot lane matchup. Let's take a look at this jungle matchup. Vi versus Amumu. Well, Amumu, you know, Vi is looking like a really strong champion on this patch right now, and she's kind of taking over. You know, even with the jungle changes, she should still be relatively strong. Amumu, he had his moments of glory, but he's dwindled quite drastically. But it's with those mana nerfs and etc. patches that has like put him back a little bit further. But he still, you know, if he can get up to his level 6 power spike and use the Curse of the Sad Mummy, that's where you really can shine on Amumu.
I mean,
so,
we even saw it last game, right? Lurdy with the Amumu looked super strong in the early mid game. Rising just was not able to match up against this champion. This exact jungle matchup is what happened before. I was almost surprised to see them opt back into it, especially because the only change really in the mid jungle 2v2 is the Sylas. You mentioned the strength of Sylas in these skirmishes, but Amumu has a lot of CC. I think there's a lot of lockdown potential for this, no?
Definitely. They the lockdown potential from Camille and Amumu is like, that's something that's, you know, of note, but it is skill shot dependent. So
Yes.
Sylas has a dash, Vi has a dash. You know, try to use your mobility to outwit them. You can even use your flash, because once Amumu's Q's down, okay, he does have 2 now, all right. And once Camille's E is down, you know, you can go around that, but still the damage that comes out from Vi and Sylas should be higher than Camille and Amumu in the skirmish. But again, we'll have to see. I would have to look at how Rising 3 is playing in these early games, because I believe Vi should be having an early game advantage. She's a relatively strong early game champion.
Yeah.
You know, her damage does come in very like thick and fast. You know, you can burst somebody if you connect those Qs, those Vault Breakers. You can knock somebody down, knock somebody out. I do believe they were going the Divine Sunderer build last game, and I do believe going to the Divine Sunderer this game would actually still be, you know, beneficial. But Eclipse Vi is still like, it's worthwhile. You know, don't sleep on Eclipse Vi, especially if they have a lot of squishies. You're gonna pop them. And
we are though going to take a short break before we get on to the Rift. Just make sure that we get some buffering, some synced clients. So we will take a break. We will be right back with Game 2 between New World Gaming and Mythic Academy. You're not gonna want to miss this.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone, to Game 2 between New Wave Gaming and Mythic Academy. New World, rather, doing very, very well in the first game, and Mythic trying to get a little bit of an edge with this level 1 cheeky invade 5-stack coming in the bot lane. I am MxL Proxio alongside me on the color cast tonight, and yeah, that level 1 not quite leading to anything, and vision trade beautifully done by New World.
Definitely cheeky, but you know, I'll have to say that New World definitely had the other side of the cheek. They turned the other cheek and they were like, "We're gonna get an early ward in these two little bushes, so we know your tricks, we know your ways. You can go ahead and get your early ward, but we're not gonna step into any shenanigans. Let nothing happen." And we see junglers actually starting in versus each other. We're seeing a Mumu start on the bot wolves. It's a pretty cool start for a Mumu, trying to maybe utilize the early kill of his wolves to gain more experience later on in the game, because jungle did have a change in it in the recent patch with the scuttle crab does not give as much exp as it had before, and it's actually been a little bit crucial because you used to get level 4 by doing a 5 camp into getting the crab. So we'll see if both junglers adapt to potentially a new like 6 camp strategy or what. It's all new in the season, but I'm loving the wards coming out from both teams. They have beautiful wards on the blue side for New World, so in the top side for
and there's the
buyout, and there it is, the freeze ray.
Zarkeen gonna be hit up by that, but the exhaust coming down onto Wreckers. Fourth shot will land, the bouncing grenade will land as well. The Dark Binding lands again, forcing out the heal. Light Binding will go wide, but ultimately the Summoners traded exhaust for heal on the bot side, and somehow Jhin coming out with the health advantage as well.
Yeah, I think that's super awesome for them. I mean, Jin's doing his classic boots 4 pots, and those freeze rays are looking quite
ducked the Kingslayer. Jack losing out on that trade still, though. Not too sure about this one.
Yeah, and looks like both junglers going just for a full clear here. They do ping out the Vi on the red bluff on the top side. She doesn't look like she has any opportunity to really like gank anything, so looks like she's just gonna go ahead, go whittle on down to this crab. She's not gonna get level 4 off it, which is pretty impactful, but she's gonna get a little bit of river vision, and these bot lane looking so intense.
Another Dark Binding forcing out the flash from Wreckers. It's definitely a devastating ability if it lands. Tormented Shadow doing a decent chunk of damage as well.
The Glacial Augment's looking like a pretty new way for supports in this, and it's great we're seeing some experimentation early on. You got the new patch, you want to see what it does. It's like, all right, this is working out pretty well, and the freeze wave is coming in pretty early there. But the thing about the freeze ray is that she got landed that second binding, but it didn't proc, so I guess it has a internal cooldown that you have to wait out, and We'll have to see. Well, Mumu's going for the bottom crab down here, and she just keeps landing them and throwing them out. Look at this CD dynamics.
Yeah, no, all right, I'm sold. I really like Glacial on Morgana now. This looks so dirty. The slow field as well, just making sure they stick in that Tormented Shadow, doing a little more damage with that W. It feels disgusting. Another Deadly Flourish. The Flash Bind actually goes wide, but the fourth shot will find the kill. Meanwhile, Zarkeen just trying to waltz on out of here. No mana left on the Lux, so should not be able to find a response kill. And again, first blood in the bot lane for New World.
Yeah, now that they have the offensive and they have the defensive, but that's full offensive from the side of New World, and I'm loving the way they're playing this bot lane. Wreckers, you could have stepped back a little bit, not have letting them get that kill. Respect the Morgana. She's landing, throwing all these bindings out, but we do see a gank towards this mid and top side. And I believe we're getting a little bit of a spectator delay. Hello?
Nano, just gonna be looking. Yeah, okay. iTunes just gonna flash away from the bandage toss there. Yeah, I mean, Rising looking for a play on Camille, but this was the same thing we said about last game. This Camille so slippery to try and really shut down at any point.
Bug just now where my game just lagged out. I believe are we at 520?
525. So
525.
7, 8.
7. Okay, all right.
Perfect.
I'm just having a strange, like, spectators. New patch, new issues. Things are coming in different. So I look to be decently all right.
I'm assuming that the lack of an indicator for what Drake we're getting next means it's going to be one of the two new ones. So, interested to see. Yep, just spectator things. Shadow Dash in the top side. iTunes going to be taken to about a third of his health bar on this Aurelia at this point.
And look,
Getting chunked out in the lane.
It looks like we're getting the Hextech Drake late.
Okay.
And the
Cool.
the if you look at the Dragon Pit, it lets you know. So Hextech Drake's coming next. So might have a different soul. We have a gank down here bot lane, but no promise, and doesn't look like Vi would really get anything off that. Black Shield's still available.
Yeah, especially not having that level 6, you can't bait the Black Shield early, but Alerty is here in the mid side. Hextech Ultimatum down, but oh, Jack grabs the Hextech Ultimatum himself and will end up flashing. Fiery Hedgehog finds the kill with the Flash Precision Protocol, though, and it's so good for this Camille mid lane.
Yeah, New World is just outplaying Mythic just in majority of these lanes, so I believe Rising has got to step up some part of their gank strategy and look for something else that's gonna work, because you're letting this Mumu take over in this early game is not the way you want to go for it.
Light Binding lands, Dark Binding does not. So a little bit of a trade up. Lux getting the upper hand in that one for sure. Granted, with the way that these kills have gone early, Zarkina opting into the early blasting wand a little more damage, whereas CCC Dynamics going for the cloth armor and boots a little more survivability. So definitely interested to see how this pans out. I'm assuming this does signal an Hourglass Rush for Morgana as well. Really like seeing that, so always cool with that. Meanwhile, topside, just some trading happening, but iTunes staying alive. Lurdy might be looking for a gank here in the bot side.
Yeah, I do like the red side's vision. I do like Mythic's vision in the bot side. They got pink wards set up. They got wards all in the river. So
Rising coming in, and it should be spotted.
Looks like we're gonna have a little bit of a fight.
Flash coming in as well from the Q, but Lurdy flashing forward. Two-man curse. The Sad Mummy finds the kill down onto Zarkine. Season Desist coming down onto CCC Dynamics, but the Stand United shield is massive, and the Shadow Dash comes through. Rising taken down by a kill on the Jin. 201 now for this AD carry.
How unfortunate for Mythic not to come up with anything in that last play. They needed something to go down, something to go right, but New World just denying all opportunities and advantage that Mythic could even try to get. So hopefully we'll see iTunes potentially get a top plate here.
Oh,
and,
the Shadow Dash onto Jack as well. The Spirit's Refuge doing some work, but oh my lord, Fiery Hedgehog with the tactical sweep finds the kill in the mid lane. So while Nano's walking back, didn't even notice. He's running the Ignite Shen, so not having access to that teleport. As he's walking back, he just stops mid, gets a kill. Love to see it.
And I believe they did have the vision in the river. I was just commenting on it, that they had a pink ward set up beautifully in the river, but Jack not respecting the Shin, just walking back and taking on the Camille a little bit too aggressively. Should have learned a lesson last game, Jack, because, if you don't learn your lesson in the second game, it's going to pay you.
Up top side here. iTunes, though, seems to be winning out on this trade. Blade Surge not available, but the minions, the corrupting, the Vanguard's edge, but Nano has to just sit under the tower, wait for that ult to disappear. iTunes back to half, might be looking for the dive, does find the Blade Surge, will find the kill. Gonna be taking up the tower, but Lurdy's here. Lurdy finds the return. So, 1-for-1 in the top side, but iTunes, I feel like, takes that with how much this Shen loses out on.
Yeah, I mean, like, Nano playing it at a knife's edge, he could have just walked away probably there at the end, but, iTunes gets a little bit of a return kill. Not a return kill, secures the kill, so, top lane just having a little bit of fun, really, and iTunes, that's the only advantage you really have in these lanes. Let's take a look at the gold, and yeah, we do see iTunes up and a good bit of gold. Jungle's hugely down for the Vi, but we're seeing a Rift Herald.
Speaking of which, Curse, she's in the wall. Okay, well, Rising.
She's above the wall.
kind of got grief there, if I'm being honest with you. But the ultimate comes through. The Amumu are down onto 2 as well. Hextech Ultimatum coming in. Fiery Hedgehog, though, finds the kill with the tactical sweep. Lurdy not having a way over, no Curse of the Sad Mummy available for himself. And Nano, nothing up, nothing available, so it does look to just be the 1-for-1 up there. Meanwhile, bot side, Wreckers stepping a bit far forward, but will not be punished quite yet.
Yep, not quite yet. And Rising, that's super unfortunate, but at least you made a Fiery Hedgehog work for it and go down, and that was a big shutdown for Fiery Hedgehog to be taken away from. So I believe iTunes got it. So iTunes is getting even more advantages.
Yes.
They just gave him the Rift Herald as well, so iTunes could potentially be one of your ways to snowball back into this game. So I would like to see Rising potentially come up to the top side after these next couple of plays and try to even accentuate this lead, push iTunes over the top, make Nano regret not having his flash, make him not want to stand united because iTunes could just potentially take even more of the top side. So hopefully
Herald
we'll see,
was popped though, so we'll just get a few early plates here. It does bring the turret down a little lower, but a little less threat, I think, of that tower necessarily falling. Drake just snuck away by Rising as well, so that is now 2 Drakes to 0, and here we go. Chemtech Drake coming through, and I want to hear all about these camouflage zones, is what they're called.
Yeah, the Chem Fog Billows, and yes, in the camouflage zones, I believe you get a current health to enemy champions, or just everybody that's in the Chem Fog. Yes, on the Drakes, but I believe when you're in the zones, you get damage to current health damage. I believe everybody has a buff. If we look at Vi in the top side over here, she has the passive. Okay, she just got out of it. Let's see.
Oh, iTunes having to flash away, but the Ignite ticking. Ignite will find the kill.
Oh,
Nano with a beautiful punish on the over-aggression from this Aurelia. Now the Stand United is available. There's no response. The Dark Binding lands, the Deadly Flourish lands. Wreckers will be able to just walk away for now, but a very big solo kill up in the top side for the Shen.
Oh, iTunes, we got all distracted by the Chem Fog too, man. You're blinded by all the fog going around you, but we have another fight here mid.
Oh, the Deadly Flourish lands down onto the Ashe. The Dark Binding barely sidestepped by Wreckers as well. Teleport coming through top side for this Aurelia to catch the wave, so we'll be back in position, but interested to see. Dark Binding does not hit. Wreckers barely sidestepping that one as well. I keep getting baited, keep hoping, but not to be. Jax misses the abduct. Will get hit up by the Hextech Ultimatum. Will be taken low. Will be taken down. Fiery Hedgehog on the Camille mid once again, making his presence known.
New World making their order known throughout this game and just dominating in every lane, really. Nano even coming out clutch with the topside play. You know, iTunes was looking really just high and above, but Nano could still just make the outplay.
Oh, the Shadow Dash, but Vi is here. iTunes will get the stun down, and yep, cease and desist comes through. iTunes picks up the kill. Very good punish on to Nano. Flashless on the Shen. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, and that should be the top T1 falling in favor of Mythic Academy here. They take the first turret of the game. They're up 2 Drakes to nothing, but still sitting a little behind for the time being.
Awesome. I love to see Mythic getting a little bit of advantage of getting back onto this Aurelia. You know, Rising just being in the correct spot just at the right time when Nano's making a little bit of an engage, you know, taunting back forward, and we have the Glacial going down, but you know, just a little bit of poke really is all you can get some off of it sometimes, but still good damage. And it looks like they're setting up for this bot play here. We have a Jack coming down and Rising all looking at this bot lane with hungry eyes. And Lurdy making sure he secures his blue buff, but at what cost?
iTunes
going in.
Looking for it. It lands the Flawless Duet, has the Blade Surge, I believe, but the Shadow Dash comes through, does a decent amount of damage. Another Bandage Toss goes down. iTunes looking for it, forces the flash out, but will end up going down. Meanwhile, in the bot side, there's 4 people here. The Black Shield has been popped, the Stand United has been popped, the Soul Shackles have been popped, the stun down onto 2, and Kill trying to get a kill for themselves. Nano, though, gonna be taken low. Curtains have been called. Jack, Abscond Abduct forward, finds a lot of damage, but will be tanking the turret.
Oh,
will
no.
fall. CCC Dynamics picking up the kill in the dive, and the 4v3 goes south. Camille on the way down might be looking to continue this play. Nano with the red buff is regenerating. Light Binding lands. The Deadly Flourish onto Wreckers as well. The Shadow Dash into the Ignite. And from bad to worse for Mythic Academy. Very, very clean pickups from New World.
Oh, Mythic Academy. Unfortunate, dive doesn't go right. Blue buff fight doesn't go right. Nothing's going right for Mythic Academy in this game too, but everything for New World, it's just looking aces. They got these nice Morgana bindings from CC Dynamics hitting, KM's making sure all these Gen W's are landing, Lurdy's always in the right position at the right time, but Fiery Hedgehog, you know, just going for a little cheeky engage. They are down on Drakes, and the Chem Fog, we'll have to see how the Chem Drake will affect this game, if any current health damage will really be applied, because I believe they have not much, like, you know, they're tankier on the side of New World, so until they get lower, they won't really be doing current health damage, because any damage you're doing is it's current health, so if you have less health than them, you're gonna be doing more. It's like, think of like a Lord Dominus Regards, but use your health bar as like the resource. It's a little tricky to understand, but
it is worth mentioning as well, just to validate this. It was fact checked because I'm small brain and needed to remember these things. There's a lot of stuff in this patch to try and keep note of. You are correct though. Champions within the Chemtech zone have deal up to 10% more damage, and it scales from 340 to 1020 HP or more HP than you. So at that 1000 HP mark, you'll be doing 10% more damage to them. That feels really cool.
And there we go. We get the objective bounties are up soon, I believe, in the bottom right of your mini-map, but we have a play mid.
Yeah, Curse of the Sad Mummy coming through will negate too, but the follow-up Curse of the Sad Mummy as Lurdy finds the kill onto the Silas. An objective bounty has been claimed onto this Rift Herald, and iTunes has found Lurdy. Stand United coming in, the two-man stun with the hook shot though, and here comes Shen. Fiery Hedgehog finding the kill onto iTunes, and a second kill down onto Rising. Everything except the Rift Herald coming up in favor of New World over Mythic Academy here.
Yeah, and Mythic, you're a little bit behind taking these skirmishes. You can't really take the skirmishes if Silas is already dead and you're trying to already fight them. You know, you're great at like meatballing and fighting them all together, but you're so far behind that, you know, these skirmishes
Soul
aren't
Shackles
good.
popped, but has been just walked out of. But there is the Deadly Flourish. Wrecker is going to be taken down with the bouncing grenade. And Jin, once again, 303, doing so much work alongside Fiery Hedgehog and Lurdy. And these Stand Uniteds from Nano have just been on point this game.
Yes, to compliment, I mean, honestly, all of New World's looking fantastic. Their bot lane's looking awesome. Lurdy's in the right spots where he needs to be. Nanos Stand Uniting just at the perfect moment. And, of course, Fiery Hedgehog's winning the mid lane. But doesn't look like there's going to be any promise here mid. They're just going to back off, you know, reset, try to prep around for this Drake, use the advantages they already have. They already have all the outer turrets down for mid and for bot, so they can push up the vision that they have in the river, their neutral vision, and the bot side near the dragon, and they can push that up and extenuate that strength even more so. But now they're going to try to look for this fight mid because Mythic, they're just going for the risky play, and they're just like, all right, we got to get something back, and we're just going to pop this Herald and just try to get a little objective bounty, and
Dark Binding lands. The Deadly Flourish comes through as well. Light Binding goes wide. Lucent Singularity does not, but Jack has picked up the Soul Shackles. Final Spark coming through, but it goes wide. Meanwhile, Jack jumps in. Soul Shackles onto 3, but will be taken down. Vi with the Q will end up going wide. CC Dynamics trying to run away, trying to get out. Looks to be able to do so, but the flash coming through from Rising will find the kill. Meanwhile, Fiery Hedgehog with the Hextech Ultimatum finds one more, but the Jin goes down in the meantime. iTunes with that ultimate coming through, Blade Surge coming through, will find a return kill. 4-4 now on the Aurelia, but this is the only source of hope right now for Mythic Academy.
Yeah. Oh, Fiery Hedgehog, you know, starting to get a little bit fierier, and there's another objective bounty for Wreckers. So New World, Mythic are getting little ways back into this game. They're only about 4K down right now, and that's not the worst spot to be in with how hard the kill feed is. You know, being down 13 kills. Hopefully Wreckers doesn't lose his life for this play.
The Alcove Gaming coming through. Fiery Hedgehog finds it, but too late. Wreckers able to get the reset off. I think I did that earlier today as well. Just kind of forgot that Alcove existed, so a little unfortunate, but very, very safe for Mythic Academy here. And yeah, CCC Dynamics just holding the mid wave, making sure this doesn't crash in. Because the last thing you want is to give over another objective bounty. These things have so much gold packed into them.
And we'll have to mention that CC Dynamics, they're going for the Evan Shroud, the new item. It's let's read its effect. Coruscation. I'm not even sure what that coruscation. After immobilizing champions or being immobilized, cause that target and all nearby enemy champions to take 12% increased damage for 5 seconds. So basically, your Abyssal Mask turned into a new little support item. Looking cute. It's already done around 300 bonus damage, so definitely with all the bindings that CC Dynamics has been landing, setting up even more damage for your team. Awesome.
Yeah, and you pair that with the Glacial Augment as well, so they do less damage to you, you do more damage to them. It's so good. Rising trapped in the Hextech Ultimatum, will be taken low, will be taken down, pops the cease and desist, but is not able to land it, unfortunately. Light Binding does not hit, but the Baron has been started. Volley's coming in, Lucent Singularity just to try and spot out the Baron health bar. iTunes on the flank, might be looking for a window, has the Vanguard's edge, Light Binding lands. Jack does steal away the Curse of the Sad Mummy. Meanwhile, Nano going to be taken kind of low. Well, actually, we'll just be negating the fight. But the other half of the fight, iTunes gonna be forced away, but it does stall out the Baron. It does stop any potential fight there. Lurdy might be looking onto Jack, though. Will not look for the Bandage Toss quite yet. Zarkeen will land the Light Binding, Lucent Singularity, Everfrost coming through as well. And the Bandage Toss goes wide. Don't think there will be much of a fight at this point.
Yeah, just a lot of skill shots going wide, a little bit of fights, kind of going a little bit back and forth. But now we have everybody looking towards this Chemtech Dragon, trying to get the next advantage of the game.
Yeah, big cooldown being burned in the Black Shield. Bandage Toss forward, Curse of the Sad Mummy down onto 2, but Jack finds one onto 2 as well. Lurdy having to flash away, but the Shadow Dash coming through. Double kill for the Shen in the team fight. Meanwhile, yeah, you mentioned it, the TP has been stopped. Fiery Hedgehog gonna be taken kind of low. Jumps back in, but here comes the Shen to stand united. Fiery Hedgehog gonna find another kill. Final Spark will not be able to pick up the Drake. That is the second Chemtech Drake of the game, going over to New World as well. And big thing to note, this Drake is disgusting. We mentioned the Chemtech stuff.
Oh,
yeah, it's 5%, now 10% extra damage just, for having 2 of them. It could go up to 20. Feels pretty good, man.
Yeah, and it's against enemies. I'm not sure if enemies includes Baron, so is Chemtech Dragon the new Baron rush kind of item? If you think about it, because Baron has a bunch of extra health, and if you have less health than Baron, you're gonna be doing extra damage to it. So potentially, the more Chemtech Dragons you get, the faster you can do Baron, which is an interesting new way to play the game in a way.
Yeah, it reminds me of, I think it was old Mountain Drake, where it would give you bonus damage to neutrals and towers. Yeah. It was really funky. Big thing to note, the damage scaling on the Chemtech Drake bonus is the same as in the Rift zones, the Chemtech zones. You end up with the same 340 to 1020 damage threshold, but instead it's 5% per stack instead of just a flat 10%. Granted, it still stacks, so if you're in a Chemtech zone, you do even more bonus damage to champions with more health than you.
It just sounds like it could eventually get out of control, and you're one-shotting people you're not supposed to, and things are going left, right, and center. So it's a fun new dragon to see, and hopefully we'll get to see a fight in one of these jungle bushes and see if the damage really gets racked up.
iTunes in no man's land. Hextech Ultimatum coming through, but it's too little too late. Kill gonna pick up his 8th of the game. Curse the Sad Mummy onto 2. The flash coming out from Wreckers, but here it is, the Chemtech zone. Okay, Wreckers just getting run down. Camille gonna find the kill. Precision Protocol, Sheen proc. Love to see that. But yeah, that camouflage range is so long to be detected in. Not too surprised there. Bandage Toss lands onto Jack, but a beautiful Black Shield negates any follow-up. Lurdy gonna just run down this Silas. He's gonna be taken low, gonna be taken down by the hook shot. And now 9-1-5 for the Jhin, 10-1-4 for the Camille. And a huge fight win for New World. They're pushing into the base. They're gonna take down the inhibitor. Shen pushing in the bot T2, and they should just be looking to rotate in for the T3.
What domination from New World. How fantastic to see. All their things are just playing out well.
Luck's gonna be taken low, gonna be taken down.
Nice.
Sees the assist down onto the Jhin, who will be taken low, but will find the kill regardless. And a huge Stand United shield coming through. They're gonna take their second inhibitor. They might look to push down for the game. 5v3 on the map. for another 30 seconds. They're going to back it off, play it safe. I respect this, and I think this is definitely the correct call.
Yeah, New World, they don't miss! These bindings, these bandage tosses are all coming through, they're landing and making sure that anything about a Mythic is not gonna play right for them. So all these fights are just going all New World's way, and you love to see it. Looks like they're just gonna go ahead, you know, both inhibitors are down for mid and bot. Just gonna push through top, got the Baron buff still, you know, let Nano do his thing on the side lane. He can, you know, stand united in just you know, a couple of minutes from now and, you know, set up for the next play. And I like the slow and steady. We're gonna close this game out. We're not just gonna ARAM it and run it down mid. But you know, nice way to make sure you're ending the game. But it does look like we're, you know, only Camille's top, and they're just getting the push in mid a little bit. So we'll take a bit of time, but
I want to draw your attention. Now, I've been waiting to discuss new items. You already mentioned the Evan Shroud coming out for CCC Dynamics. I want to draw your attention to the recently changed Demonic Embrace as well.
Oh, yeah.
This item is so strong. Speaking of strong, Hextech Ultimatum into the top side. iTunes just going to be taken low, going to be taken down. Lurdy going to find the kill with the curse of that mummy. But, Demonic Embrace already was good on Amumu. It's even better now, so deals more damage with the more HP you have.
Yeah, and yeah, it did lose that part of the passive where you don't get armor and magic resist for how long you're fighting. I believe that was the old demonics, but you know, doing you still got the burn for doing the damage on them, and the you gain 2% of your bonus health as ability power, and it looks like already Mumu's gained 22 ability power for him, and yeah, Mumu scales pretty decently well with AP, so having a little bit of extra AP, a little bit more punch, a little bit more pack to your punch is it's a good thing for Mumu. So you know, I think Demonic Embrace, you know, solid item before, solid item still. So good to see Lurdy still going for it.
Oh my gosh, Nano just hitting the tier 4 turrets, not caring at all. Final Spark comes through, not gonna find enough damage onto Fiery Hedgehog there. And the turret does end up falling. Light Binding does land onto the Camille, who's going to be able to just use the hookshot to get away. But yeah, Wrecker's just getting abused by Nano here. Flash coming out from iTunes to try and stay alive. But here it is. This has to be the defending push, if there is one right now for Mythic Academy. Flash, Curse of the Sad Mummy will pick up 2. Find the kill down onto 1. iTunes going to be taken low. Should fall shortly after as well. CCC Dynamics will find that one. Wrecker's going to be taken low, but before the Ash can fall, the Nexus does first. New World taking the 2-0 tonight.
Oh, stop bullying them, New World. I don't know. Oh, well, New World playing fantastic. Game 1, Game 2. Nothing's missing. You know, a little bit disappointing from Mythic. You know, not really playing to any of their strengths. Kind of just like falling over. But, you know, sometimes, hopefully you can recognize your mistakes, or even just analyze what the other team's doing so well to try to use that as, you know, what you want to look for going forward. So hopefully Mythic can bounce back in a good way and try to make their next games going forward a bit better than these ones that are, you know, just unfortunate. I believe. Go on.
Things to note here. It is worth mentioning. New World Gaming will be playing against Mythic Rising in the Rumble stage, the next round of the Rumble stage, rather. And Mythic Academy, I'm just checking the schedule again, making sure I got this all right. They will be playing the winner of Penta Society versus the loser of Funk Swizzlers and the Colt. So definitely going to be interested to see. I mean, they have a bit of time before their next match, so definitely could expect to see that take a little bit before we see him again.
Definitely. Congratulations to New World Gaming. You played fantastically against Mythic Academy today. And, you know, keep playing to your strengths. Keep drafting those same comps. You're playing excellent on it.
Yeah, definitely a very, very strong showing coming out from New World Gaming tonight. Both compositions looked a little rough around the edges to me, but they played beautifully in the early game, generated enough of an advantage to just kind of smack them with the gold stick, I think is how I tend to phrase that.
Definitely. They definitely took that gold stick out, started, you know, doing a little bit of spanking, but you know, it is what it is that New World's, you you know, they're utilizing the new items too. They're trying some new things out as well, getting accustomed to all the different changes that are in this patch, and you know, making it really work out for themselves. They're taking these advantages handedly.
Yeah, but that will be it for us here on the Style Esports broadcast. For everyone here at Style Esports, all of the administrative people, all of the beautiful, glorious casters and broadcasters, we have myself, MxL, and Proxio, as well as WeWizard, who was here earlier on in the night. We wish you a wonderful night, and to take care, take it easy.